Okay, class. So, agriculture in Malaysia is quite established because they are constantly working on improving their standards. First of all, the climate is suitable for the purpose of agriculture, which is hot and wet, and it has huge tropical vegetation. Vegetation is the natural greenery, we can say, which is there in Malaysia because most of the land in Malaysia is covered with forest, and the forest which Malaysia has, they produce timber, teak, ebony, sandalwood, camphor, bamboo, and in plantation rubber and palm oil trees. And it's the largest producer of palm oil in the world, Malaysia. Okay, these are all the types of woods which are produced in these forests, and as you know that timber, sandalwood, bamboos, these are used widely worldwide for the purpose of making furnitures. And timber teak furniture is quite famous even in our country. So besides this, there is a plant from which the rubber is extracted and palm oil is extracted. These kind of trees are also available and grow in Malaysia in a very amplest amount. The Another very good thing about Malaysian agriculture is that they believe and they follow the reforestation policy, which means that whenever they cut the trees, they plant new trees over there in that same ground, in that same area where the previous trees, the cut trees used to grow. This is important because in our country usually when the trees are being cut, new trees are not planted, which is very much necessary because it ultimately affects your natural vegetation. Besides this, it affects the climate. The more greenery it is there, the more pleasant the climate is expected to be. And basically the food crop production, uh, Malaysia is quite sufficient in producing rice, pepper, cocoa, coconut, tea, and pineapples. So it is producing enough rice to export and to utilize for their own people. And as we know, the population is not too much over there. Like Malaysia is not an overpopulated country. Alright, besides this, the pepper plant, the cocoa from which the chocolate is extracted, the coconut, tea, and pineapples, these are widely available in Malaysia and they are grown very widely in Malaysia. Just to show you the map of Malaysia where you can see the key, the green part, these are the deep forests. These are all forests which are there, and the one which are colored with pink, these are the swampy forest. Swampy we were talking about, that it's the wetland. Okay, these are also the forests. So if you see the whole of the Malaysia map, you can see that most of the Malaysia is covered with these forests. Okay, now come to mining. I'm reading it for you. Malaysia is one of the world's largest producer of tin and also has deposits of copper, iron, silver, and gold. In addition, the country has good reserves of oil and natural gas. In fact, oil constitutes about 10% of Malaysia's total exports. So it is the largest producer of tin. Secondly, has great deposits of copper, iron, silver, and gold. All right, so they do not need to import it from the other countries. Okay, they have their own ones, and reservoirs of oil and natural gas, which helps them in establishing their industries. Okay, and 10% of the oil which is extracted from the land of Malaysia is exported. Okay, and the tin of Malaysia is quite famous worldwide. A lot of companies get their contracts from there and export the tin from there. Sorry, import. Moving on to the industries, first I want all of you to read it and then we will just discuss. Mainly of electronic, electrical, chemical, textiles, and they are also producing oil, rubber, tin, and other food processing things. Acha. Just to tell you that, in the colonial times, it was only the raw material which was, taken from Malaysia. But now Malaysia is establishing its own industries, and with the help of South Korean and Taiwan, Japan, they are also establishing their factories, their industries in Malaysia. For the reason that the people who work in Malaysia, the workforce is good, and plus they do not need to pay them really high. So the workforce is slightly cheaper, and it's easier for them to get the local people in their industries, and they are quite skilled as well. So they have their own training programs through which they train them and employ them in their industries, although these industries are established by Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. Besides this, the industries of tin, rubber, oil, and food processing. Malaysia is really strong in electronic and electrical industry. Now they are standing very tall in producing machineries like the one which are used in our households, computer equipments. They produce vacuum cleaners, heaters, radios, televisions, refrigerators, and photographic equipment. So these things are all produced in Malaysia, and they do not have to import it from the other countries. Just look at the pictures which are given on page number 34 and 39. I'm just reading it out for you. The first picture on page number 34, part of Malaysia's blossoming industrial economy, a huge oil refinery. So they have this huge oil refinery from where what they are doing, they are taking their crude oil and they are refining it, and 10% of which they are exporting. Okay. On the next picture, Malaysia has huge reserves of metal ores, especially tin, iron, silver, and gold. This is the interior of the Royal Selangor Future factory near Kuala Lumpur. Future is a decorative alloy of tin with the antimony and antimony of copper. So in this industry, all these metals are being worked on. Moving on to page number 35, a Malaysian silversmith making valuable ornaments from locally mined silver. So all the silver which is extracted by the industries, it's turned into finished goods in Malaysia. All right, they do not need to send that material to any other country and then getting the finished product. So whatever they are producing in their own country, they are selling it there, and they are selling outside as well. A large electronic and electrical industry accounts for almost half of the value of Malaysia's export. So besides oil, tin, their electrical items are quite famous all over the world, and it accounts a good economy for the country. The third picture, Malaysia is at the crossroads of the main trade routes between Asia, Europe, America, and Australia. Huge container ships like this are vital to carry its exports all over the world. So mainly the exports which Malaysia does is sent through these heavy ships. Okay, because it's easier for them to travel through sea route. Other than that, Malaysia has a thriving industry not only in the engineering and technology but in domestic equipment such as furniture, and which are made of timber and teak. I told you that timber, teak, these are very famous when it comes to furniture, and that furniture is produced in Malaysia on their home ground. Okay, now quickly moving on to the trade. Now, if you see this one, this is the status of the like 2008. This is the production of Malaysian industry. Okay, if you see machinery equipment 3%, fabricated material 3%, basic material 4%, non-metallic material 5%, chemical and chemical products 6%, petroleum 10%. EEE means electrical and electronical equipments. These are 49% which Malaysia is producing. Now, talking about trade and tourism altogether, Malaysia is quite famous for its scenery, the forest, and for wildlife as well. So all the things which are available, it attracts the people. There is bird watching, there are cultural visits, surf spots, and the food of Malaysia. For some people, it's quite famous. And Malaysia is quite fortunate when it comes to its exports and imports because it's importing less than what it is exporting. So their imports are less and their exports are really high. So, and the main imports I told you that are machinery and transport equipments. Now, quickly come on to page number 36. There are two beaches which are the sites which you need to know, which are quite famous in Malaysia. Their beaches, their scenery,